This is the Olympus 12-50 f3.5 to 6.3. It is a versatile zoom lens. It has a hidden setting that can turn this lens into a decent macro lens. In this video, I want to specifically explore the macro shooting capabilities of this lens. Let's do this! If you're having a case of deja vu, you're wondering if you've heard of me talk about the macro shooting of this Olympus 12-50 lens before. You are absolutely right. I made this video of this specific same topic a few years ago, but I wasn't happy with that video. That's why I'm making this new one to replace that, and I have a lot of new sample photographs to share. This Olympus 12-50 f3.5 to 6.3 was launched in the year 2012. It was released together with the Olympus EM5 Original as a bundle kit. This lens has a versatile zoom range of 12-50. It is weather sealed. In fact, it is the first weather sealed lens for Micro Four Thirds system. It has internal zoom, it has power zoom, it has a dedicated macro function that not a lot of people talk about. And it is this dedicated macro feature that we want to explore more in this video. Before we go further, let's take a look at some sample photographs I've taken with this Olympus 12-50 with its macro feature activated on my Olympus EPL7. A lot of people do not know how to activate the macro feature of this Olympus 12-50 lens. All they do is just press the macro button on the lens and nothing happens. If you do not activate the macro feature, then you're not using this lens at its full macro capability. In order to properly activate the macro feature, you have to press and hold down the macro button, do not let it go, at the same time push forward the zoom ring. If you've successfully done so, you will see that the indicator on the lens will change from zoom to macro. If you see that, it means that this lens is ready for some macro action. Once you have activated the macro feature on this Olympus 12-50 lens, your focal length is fixed at 43mm. You cannot go wider, you cannot go longer. You're stuck at 43mm, there's no longer zoom. The brightest aperture is f6, and that is not a bad thing because for close-up shooting, we want more depth of field. I normally will shoot at f8, f11, or even narrower if I have to. The maximum magnification of this lens with this macro mode activated, if you go as close as possible to the subject, is 0.36 times. And that is fairly decent because in 35mm full frame format equivalent, after 2 times crop on this Micro Four Thirds image sensor, you get about 0.72 times magnification. That is more than sufficient for many bugs out there. Of course, for my inside shooting, I did use flash as well as a diffuser. If you're interested to find out more about my shooting technique, I've shared everything I can before, from my execution, my camera settings, everything. Please check out the video. I'll put the link up here as well as in the pinned comment below. I'm not going to repeat everything here. Looking at the results coming out from this Olympus 12-50 lens using my Olympus EPL7 with the macro feature activated, the close-up shots I got from this combination, they look really good. I'm very happy with the results. There's plenty of sharpness to go around, fairly decent fine details, and of course the contrast is still very good. And it is not going to be as good as a macro lens, I'm going to admit. A dedicated macro lens, say the Olympus 60 f2.8 macro, is going to give you far superior results in terms of sharpness, in terms of image quality, and overall lens performance. That's understandable because it is a macro lens. But for a kit lens, a humble kit lens that is bundled together with another camera, there's supposed to be a budget lens with a dedicated macro feature. I gotta say, the results are very, very good. I have no issue whatsoever using this Olympus 12-50 if I want some quick and dirty macro shots. Here's one tip I can share using this Olympus 12-50 f3.5 to 6.3 with the macro function activated. To increase magnification, if the maximum magnification of this lens is not sufficient, you want to go closer, you want to have higher magnification, then you can consider adding extension tubes. This is a budget-friendly solution. I got these extension tubes for like $20–25 US, and you don't lose any functionality. Autofocus is still functioning. You can control aperture from your camera. Everything on the lens works, and basically what you get is higher magnification, and that will definitely help, especially if you encounter much smaller insects or these bugs in the wild. I have some images that I've taken using this extension tube, but you have to be careful. These extension tubes when you use with this Olympus 12-50, because it is a kit lens, this is not a pro-grade lens. There are some flaws in terms of technical control on the lens, and the use of this extension tube will magnify these flaws. You'll see that the out of focus area will not be very smooth. There'll be color aberrations there and here. Anything out of the center, the quality will degrade much faster. It will not give you the best possible quality. So if you're really serious about shooting macro, you want the best of the best results, of course, the answer is to get a macro lens. That's all I have to share about this Olympus 12-50 f3.5 to 6.3 and how its hidden macro setting is such a useful feature, and how this lens can give you some really decent macro shots even without you having to switch over to a dedicated macro lens. Do share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Do you find this macro function useful? Have you used it yourself? I would love to hear from you. If you found my sharing beneficial, if you've enjoyed looking at my photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do any of that. Any small contribution goes a long way, will definitely help me to continue sharing more tips and create more content here for you guys. Until the next one, please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye. The reason I did not list down the EXIF data for each shot was because they were all the same. I fixed the settings, and it doesn't matter one shot to another because I was using flash, so I can maintain the same setting. Basically, I kept things very simple and straightforward. Shutter speed at 1/160th of a second because I think the sync limit for the Olympus EPL7 camera is 1/180th of a second, so 1/160th is fine. I use ISO 200 for all my shots. I want the best possible image quality of the images. ISO 200 is the native base ISO for Micro Four Thirds cameras. It'll give me the best possible results. For aperture, I varied from f7 to f11. Most shots were taken at f8. You can just assume everything was taken at f8. In some shots, I got closer and I need more depth of field, so I'll narrow down to maybe f10, f11. It doesn't really matter. Just assume it's f8, f9. You get about the same results. The flash power I control manually. I have no issue controlling my flash output manually. I find that to be a bit more precise. I know a lot of people will prefer the convenience of using TTL, let the flash and the camera decide the flash output. But for me, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'll just adjust the flash manually.